Hey all, Heretic here with another Hearthstone Battlegrounds Player Guide, and I'm here to bring you the information you need to help you win with Varden Dawngrasp. So get comfy and let's dive in. First, let's talk about the hero power Twice as Nice. This costs 0 gold and reads passive. After Bob's Tavern is refreshed, copy his highest tier minion and freeze them both. So this is obviously a lot of potential from this hero power. You can get triples very, very easily with it, and it's a lot of fun. Every time you refresh that shop, it is going to freeze randomly the highest minion and copy it. So what I mean is if there's 3 tier 3 minions, there's an equal chance that it will freeze any of those 3, and it will then copy the one it freezes. It's pretty awesome, has a lot of potential, and it can be frustrating at times when there's only 2, and it seems like every time there's only 2 of the ones you want, it freezes the wrong one. A couple things you can do to help yourself is if there's a pair you really want, and there's always a pair when you're refreshing, what you can do is buy one of them and just let the shop refresh, and there's a good chance that it will give you a triple. Now, if that whole shop is full of minions and yours is the highest that you want and it's already frozen, freeze that shop and it's only going to slot in one more minion. So if in this example, it's a tier 3 minion, if out of all the other minions, it slots into that one empty spot, isn't a tier 3 minion, now you're guaranteed to get another copy of the tier 3 minion you wanted, in which case now you'd have a triple also. So another thing, let's say you're rolling and the shop is full and it freezes a pair you really want, and you realize that pair is the highest tier minion, freeze that entire shop if it's the end of your turn and let them roll over into the next shop, because it's going to copy one of them. Since there's no more room to add another minion to the normal number of minions in the shop, the hero power will add extra room to add it. So you'll end up with a triple as opposed to just a pair, which is phenomenal. So this hero power really shines at tier 5 and 6 because of this reason. Those minions give you a direction or are typically very powerful. Thus, if you go into there and you pay attention very carefully while you're rolling, you can really set you up with some really good direction quick, because you're going to get tier 5 and 6. Those minions you're going to struggle to find a pair of, you're going to be able to get a pair and then a triple very quickly compared to other heroes who might struggle more. And also remember to freeze or unfreeze. So what I'm saying is your hero power is automatically freezing 2 minions, but if they're minions you don't want and you're frantically trying to go through your rolls like you shouldn't be, you should be going slow, but if it's towards the end of the turn and you don't have quite enough time, try to pay attention to that last roll, because if you don't want either of those 2 minions and you're tier 6 and it kicked out a frozen pair and you didn't want them, if you don't click unfreeze, they're going to be there, and now there's going to be 3 of them and it's a minion you didn't want to begin with. So make sure you freeze and unfreeze at the end of any time there's a minion you don't want in the shop. Now, when I'm tiering with Varden, I like to do 3-on-3 or basic curve. And there's a couple things that make me decide on these 2 things. Did I find a token? Am I taking a lot of damage early? So, I mean, if you're going to do basic curve already, you're buying 1 minion. If it's token, it just got a lot easier. And then on turn 2, you're already going to be tiering up. Then on turn 3, if your next opponent is, say, an AFK, a Millhouse who's still tier 1, maybe you don't want to do 3-on-3 and take that 10 damage. But at the same time, if it's another 3-on-3 hero like Heist Baron, well, maybe now you do want to. So it's lobby specific, but it's nice because these 2 tiering curves will follow the same path right until the moment you really know what you want to do. They work well together. Now, when it comes to the minions and the strats I'm using when I'm playing Varden, typically I'm looking for those mid-tier to high-tier minions so I can copy them with my hero power to get the really big plays. But in the early to mid game, you want tempo. You want to set up triples that will give you more value in the mid game. And in the late game, you find those super powerful minions, you copy them, you're good to go, you win. Those high-tier minions frozen in the shop in the late game are going to give you super power spikes. But you already know if it's too late and you can't do that because you've taken too much damage. So just start looking for more tempo, try to flush out your board, and try to make sure you at least finish well if you can't win overall. When it comes to countering Varden, it's a normal game of BGs. Just remember, the later in the game it gets, the more powerful they themselves get. They're going to be finding those pairs and then triples better than you can just because of the nature of their hero power typically. So the later it gets, sometimes you can't do much. Obviously, if they miss, they sit there refreshing forever and they never find anything, you got them. But if they have any decent luck, you're going to be in trouble. So just remember, counter them like you normally would. That's your best way to deal with them. Overall, I think Varden is a really great hero. If nothing else, it's because you completely change the way you play the game, and that every time you refresh, you're getting a pair. Not just occasionally, literally every time you hit the refresh button, there's going to be a pair in the shop. That's a lot of fun. Setting yourself up for that many triples can be a really good time. It also can be frustrating if you tunnel a little bit too much because you're just looking for a certain thing. You're like, oh, I want to play this. It's like, well, that's great if you find it. Play what Bob gives you. Bob is going to give you random minions. But if those minions look strong in our direction, be happy and run with them. A pivot isn't bad if it's early enough, and with Varden, since you're usually finding pairs of these minions, you have an easier time. One Mama Bear is great. Turn 10, you're like, oh, I'll pivot Beast. How about 2? Now you can do something really good unless that lobby is just super high rolling in a ticket lobby. And when you're playing Varden, you really need to think at the beginning of the game. What is the direction minion in this lobby I like? Think about the list of them, try to prioritize them, and really just keep your eye open for them. Every time you're hitting refresh, you're going to find a triple potentially. You're going to find one of these minions you want, and you're going to find 2, so it's even more effective. It has lots of potential. That means there's lots of traps. You can get sidetracked. Sometimes you pivot and it's too late. Sometimes you pivot and it's perfect. You have to understand your board and your opponents and what's going on. But the hero power is definitely going to give you pairs, so run with that. Just remember, the most important thing with Varden, besides knowing what you want to do and your options, is to slow down. Every time you hit that refresh, you're getting offered a potential change in the game. Yeah, the first couple turns, it doesn't matter. You start getting to turn 10, you start getting to tier 5 and 6, every refresh matters because it's a pair. So really look at it, really think about what you want to do. I really enjoy Varden. It's a different way to play the game, but it's similar enough to where it's not like it's a whole different game. It's a simple but effective difference that makes the hero more enjoyable. So overall, I love him. And that being said, stay tuned. I have more guides on the way. I hope you learned a few things today and had a good time. I know I did. Bye.